I've been on a fat loss journey officially for 1 year. Now, I have tried to lose weight probably since 2018, and I basically have lost the same 15 to 20 pounds for like 5 years. Here are some mistakes that I did along the way and why it didn't stick. And then I'm going to give you some tips that have finally worked. And so for the last year, I've gone from a size 24 to a size 11, maybe a 10, I don't know. So this is a photo of me in my 20s when I was doing a ton of cardio and I was also wrestling. I like to show this picture because it was really intense and I was working out a lot. Typically, it was mostly cardio. At one point, I was running like 5 miles a day. And then I was wrestling for 3 hours. I was wrestling training. And then I was also weight training. However, the weight training I was doing was like circuit training. So it would be like HIIT exercises now, or it would be 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, lightweight. And as you can see, I'm right there in the purple. That was the smallest I ever got. I was like 135 pounds at the time. And I was tracking my calories and I was eating between 900 and 1200 calories a day. I had no muscle tone, and this is actually a really good pose. There is another photo of me where when I would look at it, I was so embarrassed because I felt like I looked like I melted. And I was like, I am not toned and I need to lose more weight. But the reality was that I couldn't build any muscle because I was in such an extreme deficit and doing so much cardio. But I just had struggled for so long to lose weight. And in order to get that small, and honestly, I was so under muscle at that time that I did not have a period for 6 months. But yet I was not lean enough, not visually, not to where I was supposed to be for my career or my goals. What I realize now, of course, as time has gone on, is that I was under muscle and all of that wasn't really fat, it was excess skin. Now, this is the only photo I have at my heaviest. I was 272 pounds, and obviously I didn't take a lot of pictures because I was embarrassed, but I did get one video of me getting on the scale at that time. And I knew to get small, it just required an extreme commitment that I did not have. And so I would start and stop these diets throughout the next 5 years, and I did everything from like keto to fasting. And with fasting in particular, it started off with intermittent fasting, and then I would have to keep shrinking the hours. And so my eating window went from like 18:6 or whatever the hours are to like 20 and 4, and then alternative day, and then 72 hours, and then eventually it became an extended fast. The longest fast I was on was 99 hours. Of course, yo-yo, I would lose weight for a little bit, and then as soon as I started eating again, if anything fell off my routine, I was stuck in this mindset of perfection, zero or nothing. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that we have when we're on a weight loss journey, is that we expect perfection from ourselves. And then there's a lot of guilt and shame attached to us when we fail. And it's going to happen because whatever you're choosing to do, if it's not sustainable, if it's not something that you enjoy, if it's something that cannot become a habit, you cannot be consistent with it, it's going to be impossible for you to stick with it long term. So in order for it to work, whatever you're doing to lose weight needs to be something that you can do for the rest of your life. You can lose weight fast. Lots of people do it. I've done it over and over and over again. Keeping it off is another thing. And also what I realized is if I went back to a huge calorie deficit, tons of cardio, and dropping the weight as fast as I could, I was going to end up in the same place, under muscled and skinny fat with the same shape that I had. Most of what I've learned began because I downloaded the Ladder app and I chose my coach, Aria. She is amazing. She knows her stuff. We did a podcast together. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you can listen to that. What's most important is that your consistency outweighs your inconsistent days. So even when you don't feel like going, you need to go because it needs to be a habit. If you mess up, that's okay. Again, those days that you're showing up for yourself, even if it's a bad workout, are still gonna outnumber the bad days. And I've had a few of them throughout the year. I got sick for like a week. I had the flu. Another time, I had to remove my wisdom tooth, and so I was out for 2 weeks. I've also done a lot of traveling because of my career, and I was able to still stick to my fitness goals. So, walking, getting 150 grams of protein per day so that I could build muscle, and then getting my sleep. Sleep is so important, and it was something that I was failing at big time. This was me this morning. Look at those arms, look at those shoulders. I've never had that amount of muscle in my upper body. Here's another photo of me when I was working out. I wasn't quite as small, so I had a little bit more muscle, but I was about 145 pounds, and I was told I needed to lose about 15 to 20 pounds because I was trying to make it to TV. But you can see that I don't really have an hourglass shape here. My waist is fairly thick. And you can see there's not a ton of definition in my quads or my shoulders. And I was weight training. Through progressive overload, lifting as heavy as I can, walking, getting my sleep, getting my protein, eating in a deficit, but not worrying too much about calories burned. Because you're not gonna outwork a bad diet. It's much easier for you not to eat 1,000 calories than it is for you to burn 1,000 calories. I'm still about 50 pounds away from my ultimate goal, but at the same time, instead of like worrying so much about the weight, I'm more focused on my size. So my goal clothing size is about a size 6. What's really cool about bodybuilding is that you're literally reshaping your body, you're recomping. Now, the scale is not gonna freaking move. And my whole point of this video is this part. So if you made it to this part, this is like important. You can lose weight really fast. Today, I saw someone that lost like 20 pounds in a month. She, of course, did it through fasting and tons of cardio. She posted because her stomach was giving her a lot of overhang. So she was already big. She had a tummy. And when she lost those 20 pounds, she got a ton of excess skin because she lost it so fast in a month. As frustrating, as impatient as I get, and as jealous as I get when I see other people losing weight so much faster than me. And I'm telling you, I plateau for like 2 or 3 months at a time. I feel like nothing's happening. I can't see it, but I know internally stuff is happening. And one of those things is that I'm just recomping, I'm putting on muscle. So even though technically speaking, I've actually lost over 72 pounds, now about 45 of that has been in the last year, I actually don't have any excess skin yet, which is crazy to me. I don't know what's going to happen if I lose another 50 pounds, but I'm pretty excited because I really think that bodybuilding and just doing it as slow as I'm doing it is going to help that a lot. Sometimes if I drop weight a little bit fast, I see a little bit of excess skin. I was actually freaking out, and I posted a video about this not too long ago because I had little fat pockets in my triceps and biceps. But I was looking at them today when I was working out my arms, and that fat pocket or skin pocket is literally gone. I could not make it pop out today. So it's kind of like you drop some weight, you put on muscle, your body gets used to it, and something happens and it like tightens back up. And you don't need to do fasting for autophagy for that to happen. I'm telling you, because I'm proof.